Well, hello there guys, and welcome to another episode of Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa. I know a lot of you guys have been wanting another one of these, and I do apologize for the long wait. We are, of course, continuing here and trying to see if we can't beat the Soviets as soon as possible. Now, we are going to be moving forward with our Northern Army group, of course, to try and get to Jacobstadt, and more importantly, to get over here in these areas of Polotsk, Ostrov, Peskov, etc., and Vitebsk. Vitebsk, of course, being a very, very important town, but I think that's probably going to be the responsibility of this army down here. So right now, I'm already going to go ahead and start moving forward with some panzer divisions. As you guys know, this actual group of soldiers, or I should say this army, actually got some reinforcements last turn. So I'm going to make it my duty, I guess you could say, to go ahead and move them forward and make sure that they're doing their job at attacking these Russian positions. So I also want to make sure that this actual general is in a better position, but we need to first take a city for that to happen. He's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and that's not going to help anybody, of course. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to target this unit right here, or these two units. So let's list and see who we can use for this attack. It looks like we might be able to stack up just about everybody here. I am going a little over 200, and I know the grognards here are going to hate that. We've got a lot of people that play this game and are much better than I am at it, so I'm trying to do my best. Well, let's see how it goes. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to attack. And it looks like, let's take a look at the graphic detail. It looks like the enemy's retreating once again. Pretty awesome news. I also believe with the SS Polizei division, we can actually attack more than once. I might be mistaken on that, but one thing is for sure, we're going to keep on moving, guys. So let's keep moving forward. And I'm going to take this infantry division as well. Keep moving forward. Just making sure that these guys are in the right area for an attack. So I want to take a look up here. There's this wonderful little Russian tank division here, and I think we can probably get rid of it entirely. So I'm going to try and see if we don't have any men. Just sending in one infantry unit, I think is going to be enough to totally destroy this tank division. Let's take a look. Maybe not. I might have underestimated that one just a little bit. We also have this town up here, and I definitely want to take it. So I'm going to see if we can move these guys up there, but it looks like the movement is actually going to cost them a bit. So let's actually focus the attack here on the NKVD mech division, which already sounds pretty terrifying, to be honest. Almost futuristic. Let's go ahead. Of course, it's mechanized, short for mechanized, but just waking up here, so I'm kind of like, wait, mech division? What the hell? There we go. So actually, they actually withstood the attack, which is surprising to me, to say the least. I think the Totenkopf division is going to need some fuel, and for that, we're hoping that these generals can assist it. So I'm actually going to move this general. He's not going to be able to move. What are we going to do here, guys? We need our grognards to let us know. So he's pretty much stuck here without any fuel. I'm hoping that we can eventually get him into an area where he receives some fuel. Let's also take a look over here. Now, this army we actually put to rest. We wanted to make sure to rest this army so that they would actually get some bonuses. But we are going to attack the Soviet HQ division with the part of the army that's capable of attacking this turn. So let's go ahead and attack 3 Soviet HQs. That's pretty intense, and it looks like they all withstood that attack pretty well, but it's good to see that we've got some enemy HQs here, which we can basically storm pretty soon. So I want to make sure that this general is definitely bringing supplies to these guys. As you can see, a lot of the rails are going all the way over here, but they're not necessarily reaching this area, which is kind of frightening, to say the least. So I think I want to get back to Bialystok, but I think for now I'll stay in Grodno and hope for the best. I'm also going to start taking the cavalry divisions here, start moving them forward as well. We definitely don't want to go south of Gomel. This, of course, is Kiev, which is going to be a very important area to take, but we're not going to be taking it with this army, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. However, and this is a big however, we definitely need to start getting even more fuel to a lot of these armies. So let's keep on moving forward. We've got the 267th Infantry Division. We want to move them forward as well. And basically just anybody that we can get to get up here close and personal with the Soviets is something we definitely want to focus on. But we absolutely need to get this guy a bit closer to some of these divisions. He is the one responsible for delivering essentially all of the supplies to Panzer Group Center. I believe this is Panzer Group Center. We're going to go ahead and keep moving from Brest-Litovsk north. And we've got this tank division here. I wonder if he can... Nope, no way. He's going to stay stuck, and a lot of our divisions are going to stay stuck because we just don't have the fuel capable of moving them forward anymore. So let's go ahead and take the SS Motorized Division Viking. Now, one thing that's strange here is we are able to move on the rail yards, but we're not able to move forward anymore, which is a little weird to say the least. So I'm going to see if I can move the tank division forward. Yes, we can. That's some good news there. As many divisions as we can to attack this Soviet pocket are going to be helpful. I'm going to keep on trying to push these guys as far forward as I can to try and get the best hits on them possible. We've actually got some Soviet artillery over here, and if I can hit it with any sort of unit, I'm going to do that. I don't think we have any units we can list here, but that's definitely going to be one of my biggest priorities. And let's go ahead and see if we can't move this stack. If not, we'll try to move single file basically. But yeah, this is something that's a little confusing to me, is we can't seem to move forward. We can certainly move back, so we need to find out what the hell is going on. Let's go ahead and grab these guys, start moving them forward, the mountain divisions as well. And as you can see, we've got a lot of men here. We're just not getting quite as many supplies, particularly fuel, as we would like. So we're going to go ahead and keep moving these guys forward. Also, a lot of these guys have seen battle. We can see that by the 45s instead of the 64 or the 68s, which means that they've definitely lost some men. They've definitely seen their fair share of fighting, of course, and we want to make sure to try and improve, at the very least, this area. So I'm actually going to take this over here, and I'm going to try and get some rest and refit. In fact, I'm going to see if I can do even more than that. Organized priority, transport. No, we don't want to reassign a Panzer Group, a staff and command resource onto an army. I think I'm going to try this, and this is only going to work if I actually have good relations with the general of this army, which is a bit scary. So I'm going to try and find this general. Oh, I think that was it. Wait a minute. There we go. We can't play cards, so we don't have very good relations, apparently, with this guy. Now, we can play it up here in the north, but I really want to play it down here, and here we go. We're going to go ahead and play it here, guys. So let's play the card, and as you can see, the 16th Army will be allocated specialist brigade assets, and theater staff will assist with planning and coordination to enable enhanced tactical flexibility. I'm hoping this is going to work out pretty well for our guys. We also probably want to go ahead and try and rest some of these guys, so let's go ahead and play the Rest Army Group Center card. And let's take a look and see which particular army groups we want to rest and refit. It's not going to be well, actually, it is going to be the 3rd Panzer Group, and as you can see right here, that's going to need to rest and refit, but it looks like they may already be resting and refitting. Nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and play it once. Cease all combat operations, undergo full mechanical refit, vehicles will be recovered and repaired. I think this is going to be very, very important. I also want to try and resupply Army Group Center as much as possible. So let's see what we can do here. We know we've already had a lot of issues moving some of these units. So right here, we're also going to resupply that same army. And let's try to resupply fuel to Army Group South. So 1st Panzergruppe right here, we'll play the card. And as you can see, 100 BBLS have been delivered to make a makeshift airfield. Fuel is now essentially available here, but as you can see, because of heavy rain, we actually weren't able to bring too much fuel in here. It's definitely going to be a lot of focusing, and we could also get some reinforcements, but I think right now the main focus is going to be just trying to keep on moving forward as much as possible, really. So we're going to keep moving this army forward. Even though they've got a lot of ground to cover, at least next turn they won't have to move as much if they get that fuel allocation, of course. I think our main focus with our political points is going to be to try and get as much fuel allocation as possible. So let's go ahead. Going to keep on moving forward here. And actually, I think we can move these guys as a group. We certainly can. Let's grab this guy here. '71st Infantry Division as well. And I almost want to grab this general of 6th Army HQ and try and get him a bit closer, but I'm a little scared of moving him away from the city. Nonetheless, we are going to be on the rail lines, so I'm hoping this will still be useful. Keep on moving. Lublin, once again, is a pretty nice place to be getting supplies from, it looks like, but we just don't have the ability to actually do that right now. It looks like maybe our Romanians might be the ones to shine this turn if they can carry out an attack against this HQ. I'm going to try and see if that's possible. Let's list. Yeah, that's not going to work at all, so I'm actually going to cancel the attack. Let's go ahead and, yeah, there's no way we're going to attack there. It's just not enough men, guys. If we can get some more men in there, then of course we will attack. But I'm thinking right now, resting is going to be the best thing we can do for our armies, just so that they can recuperate, be prepared to attack in a turn or two. As you can see, we're getting pretty close to a number of different locations: Rostov-on-Don, Kharkov, Kiev, but we're not even close to where the Germans had gotten at this point in the war. And that is definitely concerning. So we want to do everything we can. A lot of Soviets over here close to our Romanian front. So I want to at least try and put up a defensive barrier so that if they try to attack us, we will be prepared for that. Let's keep on moving. Grab this border division. And the 35th Infantry Division as well. Alright guys, we're going to hope that that's going to be sufficient. I'm just going to keep on going up, make sure we didn't forget anybody. I think we do have a unit that can wipe out this cavalry unit, and absolutely, they've got to be able to wipe them out completely. And of course, cavalry unit might not seem like a lot, but every unit we break, every unit we shatter, I think is going to be of major help to us. So let's keep on moving forward, and it looks like some of these divisions are actually ready for a fight. So let's get these guys forward. Not all of them, of course, but a few at least. Here we go. So first we're going to hit these Soviets right here. And we'll hit them with 2 infantry divisions. It's only 144, but I think it's going to be enough to do some damage. And the enemy has retreated. Nonetheless, I must say, the enemy is getting a little tougher, and I think it's primarily because we're not having nearly as many attacks as we did before. I am going to attack these very weak infantry groups with this tank, and I'm hoping this tank division, we actually managed to panic and retreat these units, which is definitely good. We're getting closer and closer to that unit right there, and a city. I can't seem to see what city it is, but there's a number. Minsk. Yes, Minsk itself. There's a number of actual generals here, which we could definitely deal with, and we attacked them earlier this turn. I want to keep up the attack, and I also want to see what we can do up here in Zenos. So let's go ahead and take a look. We've already done a fair amount of attacks up here in the north. This seems to be the army group with the most fuel available, and I will match my infantry division against the Soviet infantry division, although a pretty even fight, of course. And actually, it looks like we may have lost a few more men than they did. Maybe not really worth it. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this unit at Königsberg, and it looks like he's going to stay there for now, Army Group North. But we definitely want to go ahead and try and find out a new way of essentially getting up and close and personal with the enemies here. Let's take a look up here. I want to see if maybe, just maybe, we can move these guys. I don't think we can. So let's take a look at our rep points. So let's take a look here. Göring lobbies Hitler. Interesting. So right now, at this morning's situation briefing here at OKW, Reichsmarschall Göring requested a greater oil allocation for the Luftwaffe. I have obtained a copy of the submission and will courier it over to your headquarters promptly. So definitely we want to go ahead and make a decision here. We will try petition Hitler in person. We have 19 political points, so we're using a lot of these political points to try and get this. I am going to try and petition. Nah, I'm going to wait, actually. I want to see what else is going on here, because we have a breakdown. You tell me that your wife's cousin is having a mental breakdown. Given what he has been through recently, I'm not surprised. Combat stress can do that to a man. I suspect that none of us are immune given the right circumstances. He is your chief of staff. You deal with it. Surely there are medical treatments for this condition. Ask the headquarters to provide him some pills. So von Brauschwitz is trying to ask us to sort of improve this situation. But I'm not going to worry about it. Now, we are going into atrocity suffered. Are we fighting savages, wild animals? Who does such things? The following commander has reported a horrific incident. This is not a matter to put in the bottom of your drawer of your filing cabinet. It should be acknowledged, personally by yourself. Give the commander and his men a pressure relief valve. Tell them that you understand how they must feel. Do I need to remind you of your moral obligations here? It is a question of leadership. Step up. You are needed. So apparently our men have carried out some atrocities, and we need to either cover up or acknowledge the incident. I'm going to cover it up. I'm sorry, guys. I know. I always said I was going to be a good general, a nice general, but we've got to cover the incident up because we need oil allocation. Our main focus needs to be oil. As you can see here, von Bock isn't happy, General Oberst, but the political climate isn't favorable for stories such as these to surface. Don't we have the obligation to do the right thing? Now, this is where we get into the morality, really, of the actual game itself, which I think is pretty interesting. So we have the ability to locate the army group center to Vilnius, further from the depot compared to the current FSB at Warsaw. The rail effort required to reach the new FSB would be 34. While the military situation is beyond my scope, I would recommend this option, as the closer FSB is the front lines, the better. I agree. So we're going to try and relocate this FSB, and let's take a look here. We're going to do Vilnius, Gretno. We can actually, yeah, so we're going to go ahead and move to Vilnius here. We might want to do this with a few of our units, and Army Group South as well. We're going to go to Lvov. We're going to decide, and I'm hoping that this is going to go ahead and bring oil to our units a lot faster. And let's make the decision here. We will relocate to Kaunas, and I'm hoping once again that these forward supply bases are going to help. We also will relocate the airfield for Army Group Center. Now, we're using all our political points to do this, but it is what it is. And it looks like over here, Lipaja is large enough to accommodate barges to make this worthwhile and essentially bring in supply convoys, which we definitely need. But 4 political points, oh man, and we only have 3 left. If only we could have 1 more political point. I will see what I can do about Hitler, but it looks like there's just nothing to be done here until we get some better political points. Alright, so we're going to have to wait now, guys. We're going to end the turn. I'm going to hope for the absolute best. Let's go ahead and close this up here. And turn it over to the Soviets. Delegated 5 decisions. We've moved a lot of different bases, and that's obviously going to take a lot of manpower, a lot of movement, as you can imagine. But I'm hoping that by moving these bases, we're going to be getting that fuel a lot sooner than we did before, and it's going to be much more helpful. Of course, we're going to have to see whether or not that's the case, and I think we'll find out quite soon, my friends. So here we go. Let's see what the Soviets do. Now, my biggest fear is that they start attacking us in the south on our Romanian front. That obviously would not be a good thing for our army, and in fact would probably cause us some pretty serious problems. We can't really defend that area quite well, and I want to see if the Soviets are going to go ahead and do that. We also have our Finnish front. We haven't really done much with it, and maybe I should be sort of trying to mess around with it a little bit more, but I really just want to keep that as a static front for now while we focus on these other army groups. And it looks like the enemy's still moving back. Look at this. So they're actually moving back to Odessa, and one thing I know for sure, my friends, is that Odessa has oil fields, for sure. If we could take Odessa, I'm wondering if that's going to assist us in getting oil to the rest of our men. That would be pretty amazing, as you guys can imagine. Now, over here near Army Group Center and Army Group North, it definitely looks like the enemy is pushing for a counterattack of some sort. It doesn't look like they're necessarily attacking yet, but they're certainly preparing, at least from what I can see, for a counterattack. Obviously, the Grognards in my audience will have a better idea of whether or not that's what's actually going on, but that's what I can see from my end. And as you can see, the Soviets actually managed to attack here at our army near Lublin and managed to actually defeat one of our armies here with their units. And you can see their units are getting a lot stronger. With all this time spent resting, refitting, etc., it's really no surprise that these guys are managing to win a few battles. Another thing helping us is all the mud in the marshes here, as you can see, that are appearing. Might stop the enemy from moving anywhere closer in terms of our northern front, but we also are dealing with a lot of mud here in the center. As you can see, that sort of brown, opaque thing you're seeing is mud, and obviously it's going to slow down men, it's going to slow down machinery. Moving through this mud is nearly impossible, as you could probably imagine. So let's take a look at the supply system. I'm hoping that we're getting some supplies. It is now our turn once again. Okay, generals think war should be waged like the tourneys of old Middle Ages. I have no use for knights, I need revolutionaries. Interesting statement by the Führer. The Hauptmann was talking to Lieutenant Schott today when Sven and his verrückte monkey walked past. His face went so red that we thought we'd have to call the orderly. Lieutenant Schott explained to him that it was a Russian prisoner and it held vital information. Arturo red is the color best used to describe the Hauptmann. It was a Russian prisoner and had vital information. Wow, funny. So let's take a look down here really quickly. It does look like maybe, yeah, we're getting some fuel here, guys. This is good. Now, of course, we're going to have to wait till the next episode to actually go ahead and focus these attacks, but I will go ahead and do one of these attacks now, just because, what can I say, I am definitely bloodthirsty in terms of trying to stop the Soviets here. So I'm actually going to try to attack this pocket of Soviet units. There's quite a lot here. But if I can't get up to 300... yeah, I don't think I can. So I'm actually going to just attack with my infantry units, my stronger infantry units, and let's hope that this works out. We're attacking. Come on, men. I actually got one of the tank divisions to retreat. But overall, the enemy is definitely holding strong. They're definitely putting up a better defense than they were initially. I'm also going to go ahead and attack them with these 3 tank divisions. I'm going to attack their tank division here. And we managed to make them retreat once again. Pretty hefty attack there. We've got to keep on moving forward, my friends, and we've got to keep on claiming victories. Definitely looks like down here, there's no real enemy movement. And I wonder if we move our unit here closer to Odessa. Now, I believe Odessa is under our control. And I hope this is going to bring a lot more oil allocation. But I also think we probably need to take these units and stop this, this Russian push. Even though it's close to these mountains, and obviously, you know, probably going to be pretty difficult to break through here, we haven't focused on it, and obviously they've cut off a rail yard to Army Group South. And I think that's going to be a major problem later on in the game. I can't tell if it's going to be a problem now, but I'm sure we'll find out. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'm sorry for the late episode. If you run yards and give me any more advice, please do. And I hope I can make you guys proud. Thank you, take care, and have a great day.